Ni hao bada pang yao cai Zhongguo, Wozhao, Thomas Geiger, and today at ifeng.com I'm presenting you the evolution of an icon, the updated Porsche 911. The icon of the German sports cars has gained a major update and a major upgrade. And as always, it's a bit of engineering and design and electronics. Let's start with the design first. We have, first of all, new eyes, LED matrix as a standard with 32,000 pixels, with all the indicator, all the position lights integrated, means we have a clear and clean face with something very special to the GTS. Active aerodynamics is the keyword. We all know the deployable spoiler on the back. Here, for the first time ever, we have an active system in the front as well, opening and closing it and making the GTS distinctible from the first moment on. Other than that, we have new wheels exclusive to the GTS. We have a bit design changes on the back as well. We have a new rear fender, we have new rear lights, we have a new design on the deployable spoiler. But the most important part is the engine. The GTS is the first hybrid 911. We have some hybrid cars on the racetrack already, but for the first time ever, Porsche is electrifying the road legal versions of the 911. When it comes to electrifying a car like the 911, the engineers have different tasks to fulfill. On the one hand, the 911 driver demands performance at its maximum without any compromises. On the other hand, they have to meet the challenge that comes from pure electric sports cars, from some plug-in hybrid sports cars, and most of all, from the legislation. So emissions, consumptions, all that has to be considered. And then you have the package in a very tiny, very compact sports cars like the 911, with the boxer engine in the back, with a frunk in the front, and with not much space in between. So what was the solution Porsche came up with? No, it's not a plug-in hybrid, it is the T-hybrid, the turbo hybrid, and it consists out of three major components. A, we have an electric turbocharger, means you get more revs in a shorter time. B, we have an electric motor in the PDK gearbox, and C, we have a very small, very lightweight battery to power the system in the front of the vehicle. And the influence of these three components is just enormous. We have a new base engine with 3.6 liters of displacement and 481 horsepower alone. And then we're adding more than 60 horsepower coming from the electric motor, giving you 541 horsepower in total. That's about 15% more than the outgoing car. Top speed is 312 kilometers per hour, and the biggest benefit is when you hit the pedal and floor it. Acceleration time from 0 to 100 decreases about 0.4 of a second. So not 3.4 seconds anymore, it's 3.0 seconds from now on. All that with the same consumption when it comes to the WLTP cycle, but if you drive the car really fast on a racetrack, on the Autobahn, you even have less consumption than with the outgoing model. So we have more performance, we have better acceleration, and officially the same consumption, in practice even less consumption than before. The only thing that is missing, there is no electric drive with a 911. That might be something the Generation E might miss, and they just have to wait a little because a pure electric sports car from Porsche is on the way. But that's crucial to all the petrol heads because they don't want to have a 911 running in silence. They want to hear the noise of a petrol engine. They want to have the boxer sound, and that is what even the GTS T-hybrid is going to deliver. So no, there is no quiet 911, and there will never be one. So we have design changes, we have a significant engine revolution, and we have some new details in the interior. Let's just take a look at the convertible. Makes it easy to peek into. We have the coupe, we have the convertible, we have the Targa. This is the next generation convertible. Let's just take a look what we're gonna have in here. Welcome to the interior of the updated Porsche 911. And the thing that really sticks into your eye from the first moment you start the ignition is the new dashboard. It is fully digital. So we're not only following the trend to electrification, no, we're also following the trend to digitalization. And for the first time ever, all the manual gauges are finally gone. Not the old-fashioned ref meter. Now it's a fully digital screen with lots of different displays. We have 7 different displays depending on your mood and depending on the drive mode, giving you more information in a better way, making the car look even more modern. For the rest, it's just new color and trim, some tiny details, but the main thing is, even with the new technology, the 911 stays a 911, stays true to its roots. Bad thing is, there is no key fob at the moment. Since we're still in the studio, I can't tell you how the car drives. So if you want to know how all the technology translates into fun, just stay tuned, and in a few weeks' time, you'll get all the information here on ifeng.com. Thank you for joining me on that first walk around of the updated and upgraded Porsche 911, a car that somehow leaves me undecided, at least until I drive it, because I'm pretty happy that they try to make it more modern and that they're going down the electric path. And on the one hand, I'm really happy that they didn't implement an electric drive, just the electric support for the petrol engine, because that is something I would expect from a 911. On the other hand, I'm pretty disappointed that I can't even park or maneuver in my home road electrically, and I have to be noisy as hell for the neighbors. So I'm not quite sure how this really translates to other people. As long as you're driving, the engineers promise it's just more 911 than ever before, and that is what is all about in a sports car. More performance, more fun. So let's just see and wait until we drive the car before we finally judge it. But for the moment, we can just agree Porsche has kept an eye on its icon and is developing it further and further into the future. Yes, they're doing electric cars. They just brought the electric Macan. They're working on an electric sports car, but 911 will stay true to itself. Thank you, Shishye, Sai Tian, and goodbye.